Most people think stealth is the ultimate weapon in modern dogfights, but they're wrong. Nations are starting to realize that a black box jet is just a high-tech leash held by a superpower. If you can't touch your own source code, do you really even own your Air Force? A silent war is being fought over the DNA of fighter jets, and the winner isn't who you'd expect. While the giants push restrictive, proprietary ecosystems, the Saab Gripen is offering something far more dangerous: total sovereign control. Discover why smaller nations are ditching flashy hardware for the power of open architecture. Imagine spending billions on a fighter jet only to find out you need permission from a foreign government just to update its software. This is the reality of the black box defense industry. We're diving into how the Grippen's tactical independence is breaking hardware locks and redefining national autonomy in 2026.
Welcome back to my channel. In the old world, buying a fighter jet meant buying metal, engines, radar, missiles, and training. But in the new world, a country can spend billions on a modern aircraft and still not fully control the most important part of it: the software brain inside. That is the silent trap. The jet may wear your flag, fly from your airbase, and be paid for by your taxpayers, but the mission data, update system, maintenance software, weapons integration, and deeper digital architecture can still remain locked behind foreign approval. This is where the black box problem begins. Many advanced Western defense systems are not sold like simple machines anymore. They are sold as closed ecosystems. You receive the aircraft, but not always the full keys to the code. You operate the platform, but you may not independently rewrite its digital behavior. You can fly the jet, but when you want to integrate a new weapon, change a sensor package, adjust mission data, or modify software for your own battlefield conditions, you may need permission from the original supplier. And in a real crisis, that permission can become more valuable than the aircraft itself. Now, to be balanced, this does not mean every black box fighter has a proven remote kill switch waiting to shut it down overnight. That claim is often exaggerated online. The real danger is quieter and much more serious. Modern aircraft depend on software updates, encrypted mission files, logistics systems, and data pipelines. In the F-35 world, for example, public U.S. congressional research describes ALIS and its replacement, Odin, as digital sustainment systems linked to aircraft health, maintenance, and fleet data, with Odin described as cloud-based. GAO has also documented long-running ALIS problems, including data inaccuracies, deployability issues, and cases where ALIS-related problems affected readiness.
So the risk is not just, can someone press one button and turn off your jet? The deeper question is, can your Air Force keep fighting at full capability if the supplier delays updates, restricts software access, blocks integration, limits data rights, or changes political terms during a crisis, that owns the mission data, controls how fast the aircraft can adapt? This is why the Gripen conversation is becoming bigger than just stealth versus non-stealth. Saab openly markets the Gripen E with revolutionary avionics architecture designed for capability growth, electronic warfare, sensor fusion, and adaptation to new operational needs. That matters because many smaller and mid-sized nations are not only asking which jet is more advanced, they are asking which jet can we actually control when pressure comes. And here is the dilemma. Top-tier stealth gives you prestige, deep strike potential, and access to a powerful alliance ecosystem. But if that stealth comes with limited software freedom, then national sovereignty becomes conditional. Gripen offers a different argument. Maybe the strongest weapon is not always the most secretive platform. Maybe it is the platform your engineers can understand, modify, maintain, and adapt without waiting for a superpower's political green light. In my opinion, this is the real silent data war. Nations are no longer just choosing aircraft, they are choosing how much independence they are willing to surrender. Because the next air war will not only be fought in the sky, it will be fought inside servers, update systems, mission data labs, and locked software agreements. And for many countries, The most dangerous enemy may not be the aircraft across the border. It may be the digital lock inside their own hangar. Saab designed the Gripen with an open and modular system, where flight-critical software is kept protected, while tactical mission software can be upgraded, adapted, and improved much faster. In simple terms, the code that keeps the aircraft safely flying stays secure, but the code that handles weapons, sensors, data links, radar modes, and electronic warfare can be changed with more flexibility. That matters because modern air combat changes fast. A new missile appears, a new radar threat shows up, a new electronic warfare tactic emerges. In a locked proprietary ecosystem, even a small modification can take years of approvals, paperwork, export permissions, testing cycles, and supplier politics. But Gripen was built around a different idea. The customer should not be trapped inside a digital cage. Brazil is one of the clearest examples. Its Gripen program is not just about buying jets. It is about technology transfer, local assembly, local engineering knowledge, and building long-term national capability. Brazil is not simply receiving an aircraft, it is learning how to sustain and develop part of its own future air power.
Thailand also shows why this model is attractive for mid-sized nations. For a country that must defend its own region, the ability to integrate local requirements, national systems, and future upgrades matters as much as raw aircraft performance. And this is where Gripen separates itself from black box technology. Proprietary systems often make the buyer dependent on the supplier for every major change. Gripen offers a more flexible path, faster local updates, easier adaptation, and more control over the tactical layer of the aircraft. In my opinion, this is the real meaning of software sovereignty. A fighter jet is not truly yours just because your flag is painted on the tail. It becomes yours when your engineers can adapt it, your Air Force can upgrade it, and your nation can keep fighting without waiting for foreign permission.
In 2026, the most dangerous battlefield is not always the sky. It is the invisible electronic space around the aircraft. Radar signals, data links, jamming, spoofing, sensor fusion, and software updates. In that environment, source code access becomes more than a technical detail. It becomes a defense weapon. Why? Because if a nation understands the digital DNA of its fighter, it can react faster. It can update threat libraries, adjust electronic warfare logic, integrate new weapons, and patch vulnerabilities without waiting for a foreign contractor's approval cycle. Saab's Gripen architecture separates a smaller flight-critical core from the larger tactical management codebase, allowing tactical upgrades without recertifying the entire flight control system. This is where sovereignty becomes real. A country that cannot inspect, modify, or deeply understand its mission software is forced to trust the supplier completely. That may work in peacetime, but in a crisis, trust is not a strategy. If there are hidden weaknesses, backdoor risks, restricted functions, or delayed patches, the operator may discover them too late. Source code sovereignty reduces that danger because domestic engineers can verify, maintain, and adapt the system from inside, not just operate it from the cockpit. Brazil shows why this matters. Saab's technology transfer program was designed to give Brazilian industry the knowledge needed to maintain and develop Gripen for Brazil, and its work packages include areas such as systems, software, and avionics. That means the aircraft becomes more than an imported platform, it becomes a national skill base. The economic benefit is also huge. Instead of paying foreign contractors every time the fleet needs a software change, sensor update, or weapons integration study, domestic engineers can handle more of the work at home. That keeps money inside the country, builds high-tech jobs, and reduces lifetime dependency. In my opinion, this is the real difference between buying a jet and owning a jet. If you only control the throttle, you are a customer. But if you control the code, the upgrades, and the mission data, you become the master of your own air power. Gripen's independence is not only inside the software, it is also visible on the ground. Most modern fighters need large airbases, long runways, heavy maintenance teams, advanced support equipment, and constant data-backed logistics. That makes them powerful, but also predictable. In a real war, big permanent air bases are usually among the first targets. Saab openly frames dispersed operations as a way to reduce that vulnerability by operating fighters from simple road bases instead of only relying on major air bases. Gripen was built for exactly this kind of fight. It can operate from dispersed and even unprepared road bases or airstrips, and Saab says it can be refueled and rearmed for an air-to-air mission in around 15 minutes with limited crew and equipment. That means the aircraft does not need to sit exposed in one big, obvious location. It can land, disappear, reload, and move again. This changes the entire battlefield equation. A superpower radar network expects patterns, known bases, known flight paths, known electronic signatures, known support hubs. But when Gripen operates through local mission data, flexible electronic warfare settings, and dispersed basing, it becomes harder to predict. The enemy is not just hunting aircraft anymore. It is hunting moving targets, changing signals, and scattered launch points. This is the off-the-grid advantage. If centralized logistics hubs, cloud systems, and major bases are attacked, a force that depends on one giant ecosystem can slow down quickly. But a Gripen force can keep operating from highways, small strips, forest roads, and temporary locations with smaller support teams. Saab has described Gripen fighters as deployable almost anywhere with minimal support for high-tempo operations. In my opinion, this is where Gripen becomes more than a fighter jet. It becomes a survival system. In a global conflict, the aircraft that needs the biggest base may not be the safest. The aircraft that can vanish, relocate, update locally, and strike again may be the one that stays alive longest.
The new era of defense is not only about who has the fastest jet, the biggest engine, or the cleanest stealth shape. Those things still matter, but they are no longer enough. In 2026, nations are asking a deeper question. Can we control the system when war begins, or are we only renting power from someone else? This is why strategic autonomy is becoming a major factor in fighter decisions. Countries do not want aircraft that come with invisible political strings, locked software, delayed approvals, and restrictive end-user agreements. They want the freedom to maintain their fleet, integrate their own weapons, protect their own data, and upgrade their own mission systems without waiting for a foreign capital to say yes. Gripen fits directly into that shift because Saab presents it as an adaptable fighter system built around upgrade flexibility and long-term operational independence. Saab says Gripen is designed with smart, easily adaptable technical solutions for future battlespace demands. Brazil shows this strategy in action. In March 2026, Brazil unveiled its first domestically assembled Gripen under a technology transfer agreement that allows part of the fleet to be produced locally. Colombia's 2025 Gripen deal also included offset programs supporting local defense, technology, and infrastructure sectors, showing how buyers are looking beyond the aircraft itself. This signals a wider market change. The future arms market will not only reward the most advanced aircraft, it will reward the aircraft that gives nations more control over data, maintenance, upgrades, and industrial participation. SIPRI's 2026 Arms Transfer Fact Sheet shows that global major arms transfers remain a major strategic issue, with updated data through 2025, reinforcing how fighter deals are still deeply tied to power, alliances, and national security choices. In my opinion, this is where the old defense model starts to crack. For decades, countries were told that the best weapon was the most expensive, most secretive, and most locked-down system available. But digital warfare changes that logic. A fighter jet is not truly powerful if another country controls its updates, its data, its integration path, and its future. The next generation of air power will not be decided by stealth alone. It will be decided by control. Because in a world of cyber warfare, electronic attack, cloud logistics, and software-defined combat, the most powerful weapon is not the one with the best brochure. It is the one you actually have the key to. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe my channel.